So new this morning, breaking now, Ukrainian military saying that its drones struck Russian aviation plant and missile production facilities inside of Russia. This happening as back here in the U.S., Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth issues sweeping new orders to fast-track the U.S. military's production of drones and deployment of drones, part of a larger push to try and keep pace with Russia and China and then outstretch Russia and China in this race. During the announcement, Hegseth set three major goals to assert U.S. dominance. It went like this.
We're going to bolster the U.S. drone manufacturing base by producing thousands of American-made products, prioritizing Buy American. We'll arm combat units with a variety of low-cost American-crafted drones, leveraging our world-leading engineers and AI experts. And third, we're going to train as we expect to fight.
So Brett Velicovich is a former U.S. Army intel and special ops soldier, an expert on drones, Fox News contributor. And sir, thanks for coming on. Good to have you here. Take the Pentagon's position now. It's not really a top-down thing. They're spreading it out and give the authority to others who are lower in rank. How do you think this is going? How will it go?
Well, Bill, this is exactly why Secretary Hegseth was the right choice for the job. He's the disruptor that is needed in our archaic military-industrial base that has slowly been failing us by not adapting quick enough to meet the needs of modern warfare. And finally, someone at the top is actually listening to what is needed. I commend the Secretary for paying attention to the true lethality of drone technology, and it's proof he understands the future of warfare. You know, when I see some general or admiral giving some big defense contract for a billion-dollar boat that, if we're lucky, gets made in 2035, I scratch my head and ask, what are our leaders thinking? Are they not watching naval ships and multi-million-dollar tanks get destroyed by $100 drones every single day at war? It's like they're not paying attention to the realities of modern warfare and how fast it's going to catch up to us. And our government needs to stop thinking about drones in these old ways, like they're only used for this large surveillance. They should be thought of as artillery rounds. They're ammunition. And just like artillery rounds, Bill, we need to manufacture small drones at massive scale here in America as they become more lethal, because the Chinese, Iranians, Russians, collectively, they have their manufacturers producing millions of handheld small drones, you know, every single year. But our government gets excited when they find some U.S. manufacturer who can produce 100 drones per month, as if that would actually matter on today's battlefield. That's not okay. It leaves us vulnerable. America needs to dominate and completely control the global market, and I think this is the first step in doing that.
Anderil's, this company, you know, Palmer Luckey runs it. He's one of many trying to get into this space and really develop it at a fast clip. You just came back from Ukraine. You saw it firsthand. I want to draw your attention, our viewers' attention, to this piece in the New York Times. Very interesting how the Ukrainians are using this. I'll just read it for you, okay? As drone warfare evolves, Pentagon sees its own vulnerabilities, all right? Here's the key line. The audacious and creative use of drones by an Israeli intelligence agency to mount strikes from inside Iran and Ukraine's so-called Operation Spider's Web, which knocked out Russian strategic bombers with drones launched from inside Russia, has made clear that the threat to the U.S. military is not just overseas, but also here at home. So the Ukrainians are doing it. The Israelis are doing it. We need to step on the gas, do we not, Brett?
Exactly. Look, people are not understanding the rapid battlefield innovation taking place right now in Ukraine. You know, what they're building in Russia, in Ukraine, in Israel, it's changing the face of war. And this is just the beginning. How drone warfare is being conducted daily overseas, it needs to be a wake-up call for our leaders. We're in an international drone arms race. We've been losing it for a long time. I think that stops now with what this admin has done. We've got these blueprints right now for how future battles can be fought based on Russia and Ukraine's tactics. It's going to be low cost, rapidly scalable, lethal drones. They're going to be the most important tools on the battlefield. And we have groups in America, by the way, that can handle this. Like I have a drone right here, for instance, a company, Vector. This is called the Hammer. This is made in America. It's influenced by lessons learned in Ukraine, built for war. You know, this is an American company that, you know, you can add 5 pounds of explosives to this drone, 20-kilometer range, costs hundreds of dollars, and can destroy a multi-million-dollar tank, you know, or fly right through the passenger window of the military vehicle. And this is exactly what we need. We need more groups like Vector producing in massive quantities here in America. No one else is doing that. And we don't need the Lockheeds and the Northrops building these billion-dollar drones anymore. I've seen it firsthand. I just came back from Ukraine. I see what our enemies are doing every single day. And I'm telling you this because I want our government to fix it. I want our government to understand what we really need to combat enemies going forward. We just focus too much on defense military systems that don't work.
Right. Let me just add one thing here, is that what Secretary Hegseth's idea here is to bypass the traditional approval bottleneck. If you can do that in an organization the size of the Pentagon with $1 trillion budget, you might be able to put this thing on hyperspeed. Brett, thanks for coming back. I want to point out you're an advisor to Vector as well. But that was a very interesting show and tell, and we'll talk again soon. Brett Velicovich, maybe the new masters of the air when it comes to warfare. Very interesting. Thanks for coming on.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.